whole. So with that, we will start off with okay, all right. Before we go on to the comments of our resource persons, Senator Joel Villanueva sent his opening statement, and we will just insert this into the records. And let me direct the committee secretary to reflect this into the discussions for today. All right. So we will start off with, and we're very fortunate that no less than the chairman of PAGCOR is here to join us in this hearing, and we appreciate your presence, sir. We will start off with a discussion on online gambling, no? Or online gaming, or I think we also know this as e-casinos. No, correct me if I'm wrong. Over the past few weeks, we've been discussing about POGOs and how POGOs we've been discussing about POGOs and the operation of POGOs here in our country, but little is known about e-casinos and online gambling. So we would like to understand from PAGCOR this business model and how this business model contributes to PAGCOR and contributes to our country as a whole in terms of revenue and other benefits. So we call on the chairman or someone from PAGCOR to help us understand what online gambling is and how this is operating in our country.
Maraming salamat po, Chairman, Senator Win, and good morning to all. In 2004, PAGCOR then issued a license to the first company that is involved in e-gaming. That is the company called PhilWeb. At that time, the PAGCOR allowed and gave a license then, that was in March 31st, 2004, to a company called PhilWeb. And PhilWeb established branches all over the Metro Manila and other key cities in the Philippines. But back then, for one to be able to patronize the said establishments, one had to physically go to the outlet being run or operated by PhilWeb. Then in the 17th of January 2006, PAGCOR had entered into a memorandum of agreement with a company called Kirchner Games International for the operation of mobile and wireless games. After which, to be able to expand its internet-linked products, PAGCOR entered in 2009, 30th of March, an agreement with Interactive Entertainment Solutions, or IEST. So, those were the, that was when online gaming started, Mr. Chairman. So, 2004 po, March, and then in succeeding years, every 2 years, PAGCOR would enhance the e-casino business. Then, what happened was that during the pandemic, as reported by the PAGCOR officials who were part of then the EGLD department, Electronic Gaming Licenses Department. During the pandemic, nag-proliferate na po lahat ng illegals. And at that time, there were many companies who were operating brick-and-mortar facilities and offering their services even without the license of PAGCOR. So that was already sometime in early 2020, the start of the pandemic then. Now, in June 11, 2020, when PAGCOR already saw that the gray market was just expanding, the trajectory was just expanding so fast, the then PAGCOR board decided to already regulate and come out with a framework or guidelines to be able to allow online gaming. Very clear, the objective then was to neutralize the gray market. So, that was in June 11, 2020. On the 6th of May 2021, then PAGCOR board approved the regulatory framework for the remote gaming platform, which is the foundation for all the present frameworks regulating online gaming. So they enhanced what they had approved in 2020 by now approving a regulatory framework to be able to already issue licenses to prospective applicants. So that was already in May 2021, Mr. Chairman. So, part of the framework already was requiring prospective clients to follow the Know Your Customer process. They must submit government IDs, birth certificates, nature of work, source of income, and their latest photos with a valid government ID. So, doon na po nag-umpisa yung panahon kung saan ang PAGCOR po ay binuksan na ang paglilisensya. And according to the officials of PAGCOR who are still with us today, the real intention was then to hopefully neutralize the gray market. So, when I assumed in August 2022 the chairmanship and being CEO of PAGCOR, the first thing I did was to look into the regulatory frameworks that were already set up, because so many every day there were so many complaints coming from customers or letters I had been receiving asking or complaining about the proliferation of illegal betting sites, and that they were not being, or the companies that they were betting with were not responding to them anymore. In short, very obvious there that the illegals were already proliferating and that there was no protection from any prospective bettor or customer for him or her to be able to complain against the company that they were a customer of. So I looked into it, and with the team of the Electronic Gaming Licensing Department, we strengthened the weaknesses. We saw that there were so many fly-by-night operators. And that being the case, the first thing that we did to be able to eliminate the fly-by-night was to increase the financial requirements, non-refundable application fees. The amount we raised the application from 1 million to 5 million pesos. This is non-refundable. We increased the performance deposit from then 15 million pesos to 50 million pesos. We then increased the capitalization required, paid up capitalization from 25 million to 100 million pesos. We streamlined the application process and all the requirements, and we required for all representatives of these companies to divulge the beneficial owners, because most of them were lawyers and incorporators that we didn't know. And we also strengthened the third-party audit platform and third-party audit company that was in charge of doing the audit of the revenues. Then, Mr. Chairman, there were reports that it was the auditor was able to capture only about 55 to 60% of the transactions being delivered by the licensees. So we also strengthened the KYC process, wherein, of course, only 21 years of age will be allowed to play. And then we also launched our campaign for responsible gaming to be able to balance the act. We had discussions with NGOs. In fact, a very reliable NGO that is helping us today, Seagull's Flock Foundation, just held a very successful international responsible gaming conference held early, about 2-3 months ago, in Quezon City, sponsored by the Quezon City government. So, in all of these, basically, we were able to get a bigger margin of the gray market. Although unconfirmed, Mr. Chairman, the many people say, especially those who have been involved internationally or locally with them, there is about a 200 billion peso market now per annum in the online gaming platform only in the Philippines, more or less. If you will ask me where I'm getting data, we're just putting together all the numbers that we have seen, and we are also in consultation with our consultants. To give everyone an idea, in 2020, when then the PAGCOR board opened the licensing for prospective applicants. The gross gaming revenue then during the pandemic was about 12.9 billion pesos. In 2021, there was a slight dip, or almost the same number, 12.8 billion pesos. In 2022, the gross gaming revenue doubled, more than doubled to 28 billion pesos. And as of end of December 31st, 2023, again, we were able to double again. The business doubled to about 56 billion pesos. Today, from January to June alone, Mr. Chairman, end of June this year, the gross gaming revenue that we have tracked amounts to about 53 billion pesos. So, if truly the market is in the vicinity of about 200 billion pesos when it was unregulated, I believe if the trend will continue, we will have a GGR of about 100 to 110 billion pesos. So hopefully by the end of this year, PAGCOR, because of the regulation and strict implementation of the frameworks in place, we would have captured close to about 55 to 60% of the entire market. So up to the end of 2024, I believe that there is still about anywhere between 30 to 40% of the business being controlled by the gray market. The good news that I would want to report is that in the last 45 days, three big companies involved in illegal operations or who were not registered prior to the implementation of all these strict measures have already come up and have manifested that they already want to be registered and will get out of the unregistered market. So that, Mr. Chairman, is my brief report as to what we are projecting to gain. If the trend continues, we're expecting to gain from the online gaming market about anywhere between 35 to 42 billion pesos from license fees. And this will translate to about close to 40% of the current revenues of PAGCOR. So for 2024, I would like to emphasize that PAGCOR is projected to generate anywhere between 38 to 42 billion pesos in license fees. And that is a lot of money that, as you are all very well aware, close to 70% of our gross gaming revenues are either transferred to the national treasury or used as contributions to nation building. Yun lang po, Mr. Chairman, ang may ulat ko generally about. Now, also, General R.V. Villanueva, the head of our security group, would like to share, I mean, through me, that as we are actively pursuing our efforts against the illegal operators, a total of 7,747 illegal sites have been endorsed to the DICT and to the PNP. We have this on record. Maybe, General Billion, if you will allow, Mr. Chairman, General Villanueva to just give his reports on what PAGCOR has done to counter the illegal operators of online gaming.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I recognize General Villanueva, just to put everyone on the same lane, on the same table, Pogos and online gambling, online gaming, these are different
Opo.
activities, correct? Just to
Yeah.
make
Opo.
everyone understand clearly.
Yes.
Pogo, in short, they get bets from outside the Philippines.
Overseas gaming po, Mr. Chairman.
And then this online gaming is domestic.
Dito
correct?
po sa domestic
Local,
market.
no?
Yes.
So kumukuha siya
domestic
ng
market.
bets locally.
Yes, domestic market, Mr. Chairman.
But both are operating in the Philippines. Meaning they get
Both,
bets.
yes. Well, the Pogo,
The gaming happens here in the Philippines for both. Tama ba?
yes. Well, the Pogos have their offices here in Manila, in the Philippines, and they source their customers from abroad. Versus the difference, no? The international, the e-gaming that we have, online gaming, sources their business from within the Philippines.
And their operation is also here in the Philippines.
Yes,
Meaning
in the Philippines.
the bets happens here in the Philippines.
Yes, Chairman. The bets are happening here in the Philippines.
The online gaming, do they have brick and mortar casinos or everything happens online?
They
Diba
do not
merong
wala
mga-
po silang physical casinos.
Okay.
I mean, they do not have land-based operations. Except for, meron pong mga outlets lang, but wala pong physical live dealing in the outlets. It's all online. You have online bingo, you have online RNG games, online slot machines, excuse me, you have online slot machines, you have online table card games, but wala pong physical operations na nangyayari dito sa mga outlet na to.
Everything is digital.
Yes.
For example, the bingo is digital also.
Opo, may meron po kasing dalawang uri ng bingo. Meron pong traditional kung saan you see in the different malls, meron pong mga live na nangyayari. And second is meron pong online wherein you broadcast a live bingo game through the internet. And customers can purchase cards and play.